Hey folks, here is the Data Meister again. Well, as promised, I'm in a nice setting here at the Inn of Taughannok Falls. I hope I pronounced that right. That's an amazing property. We are here at the Finger Lakes, and yeah, it's just beautiful. It's gorgeous, and we'll talk today, as promised, a little bit about the Data Meister, who I am. Why am I doing this? What's the purpose? So maybe let's start with a quick introduction of myself. My name is Dirk Grunewald, and I am originally from a place called Essen in Germany, where I passed my childhood, where I went to school. Then after the military, I studied mechanical engineering in Aachen, and then in nothing remarkable at that point. And then in Frankfurt, Germany, I met my wife, and shortly after, I had my first internship in a place, a very beautiful place called Irun Ondarribia. Ondarribia, that's a small town directly located at the border of France. On the other side of that Rio Bidasoa, you have Andaya, the middle of the Basque Country, I met great people there, amazing people there. They have amazing food, amazing wine, which you can tell here on my belly as well. And I think I started to grow it over time, and it started right there in Ondarribia. That was in the 90s. And that was my first touch point with the subject, data. I was a young chap, and I was helping some manufacturing companies with their quality assurance, with their quality management, passing some of these certifications like ISO 9000. And if you want to get your process in order, if you want to improve anything which you're doing, well, you need information, you need data. So first of all, you need to find a way to collect it. And well, the obvious place where you usually do it in an office location is Excel. So I started with Excel, and then figured out that there are some limitations. So went over to Access, and then to real client-server applications, which I developed by myself with Visual Basic. Actually, it was quite powerful at that time, at least, and it was fast and to get something done. And I started my first business, my first company, together with some folks from the country, actually from Spain, from Basque Country. And that went pretty well, but not well enough. And soon our son was also to arrive, so I had to put food on the table. So I entered into the e-commerce business with my first real employment with a company who was supposed to sell shoes and apparel over the internet. That's an interesting story by itself. But I think there are some things which I would rather not talk about on the detailed side. But after that, my passion for e-commerce was ignited. So I went further. I started with a company called Publicis, so one of the biggest agency networks in the world, based out of Paris. And I helped to apply my technology knowledge, which was now a lot also about data and e-commerce and the first steps in product information management, which I was at that point, I was not even knowing that it existed that under that name. I was just doing it, just getting product data in place, the media assets and everything you needed to sell stuff. So, and I helped to apply my knowledge about technology to marketing. At that time, most of the agencies, especially the people who were already longer in the business, were all bound to their classical advertising thing, right? The crown of advertising was the 30-second ad clip, right? And the billboard and the magazine and all that. You know that things have changed dramatically, but they started to really change significantly already almost 25 years ago when I entered into the business. So I helped brands like Renault and Nissan and Nestlé, and then from 2004 with an American agency network called McCann Erickson and IPG, General Motors as well, to actually build an internet platform. And that internet platform contained all the elements which you need nowadays for having an engaging brand experience. You had a vehicle configurator, you had live visualization of the vehicle whilst you were configuring it. That required obviously all the data about the product, but the different components, different options, and also the constraints. So what you can combine with each other, CPQ as they call it as well, right? And everything in between, right? So we had to build our own PIM system. We selected a web content management system, which the one we selected turned out to be a lucky choice. It was from a small company in Basel in Switzerland, but that company was soon acquired by a bigger company called Adobe. So we actually selected Adobe Experience Manager. So that again was somewhat a lucky choice. That platform became at its time the largest implementation of Adobe Experience Manager. I think we had more than 200 websites of General Motors brands like Opel, Vauxhall. At that time, we started also with Saab, which is no longer anymore. And then later on, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac. I brought GMC, Buick, Cadillac onto this website platform, and that also brought me to a place called Detroit, Michigan. That's the Motor City, and I never wanted to be there after I saw Detroit the first time at its worst. It was in 2005 in February in the middle of winter. I never wanted to go there again, but that sealed my face, because I told my wife that, hey, I have found the place I never want to live and work. And then if I ever called you, hey, maybe we are going there, then you even have the right to divorce me. If you make these kind of bold speeches, usually karma strikes back, and it did. Right. So 2011, I was promoted to senior vice president of that agency, and my new location was Birmingham, Michigan, a suburb of Detroit. Actually, not that bad, as some of you might know, than Detroit. And Detroit started at that time, 2010, when I came over. It was almost at the point to start its resurrection. So Detroit, actually, it's worth a visit. Detroit is not that bad anymore, as many people believe it is. So 2010, went to Detroit with my family, with my wife, my son, 9 years old at that time, not speaking a word of English. We just put him into public school and actually waited for him to finally make something out of it. And he had some amazing teachers, so he really made it. So when he graduated 2020, unfortunately during COVID, then I think he graduated with a 4.2 GPA, and again did very well. Then afterwards went to school. He's now a senior at Michigan State, currently in Switzerland. He's doing awesome, because he's also helping us a little bit with the business, as he's a data scientist taking care of AI and ML. But going back a little bit, 2011, I joined another, for me, pretty transformative station of my life. And that was a company called Hyla. Hyla Software at that time was already one of the leading vendors in product information management software and digital asset management they had as well. And originally originated from e-procurement. And we had a rivalry with another company called Stibo, also very well known. And we were in a lot of fierce battles. I was taking care of professional services and consulting. There was another gentleman, some of you might know, Mr. Greg Wong, who was the CEO and taking care of sales. And we were somewhat partners in crime. Also pretty interesting relationship. But we were successful, pretty successful. We got up the revenue, we doubled it within 2 years, and at least on the American side. And then a company called Informatica came along, and as you know, that game with the sharks, right? The bigger shark eats the smaller one, and now Informatica, as I hear, is also being eaten by another shark. Again, these typical things. So 2013, I started my own business, really as a one-man show. Just freelancing and trying to grab something which I could do with the focus on master data management and product information management. Now, not so much only focused on Informatica, even with my expertise there. It was also, I got a lot of requests as well, and eventually did also some. And the company was slowly growing. Then 2018, 2019, was growing a little bit faster. But not everything worked out. And then 2019, when we were about to be international, we're in China and all different places, right? You know what hit? COVID. So that struck us back a little bit. So I had to pick up, again, opportunities to make payrolls also for myself. Spent some time with as a consultant with a company called Infosys in India, which was actually it's that's a story by itself. I don't want to talk about that by itself right now, but it was somewhat also a blessing because I met a lot of good people, and then also met some other folks. So one young chap from India. And you will meet him, Sumit, and he helped us transform really our business model again during COVID times. So it's now based a lot also on social media, and that I'm talking here to you, as a data Meister is also a part of it. And in between we are helping companies out really in many regards, and we are completely independent. We are software agnostic. We are present in places like not just in the US, but also in Germany, in India, in Switzerland. And again, we are growing. So I'm happy about that. So, and I think I'm already, I have spent a good amount of time. We'll tell you more in the next week. I try to make this broadcast a little bit more regular now. They are also still our webinars. I held a speech in Karlsruhe at Via Medici. Greetings to these folks, by the way. But I'm still waiting on the video recording. So once I have that, I put it here online. Actually, I was in Detroit whilst I was holding that speech in Karlsruhe. Quite funny. So, and I also maybe also a couple of other things we are doing. We are sponsoring the Michigan State University AI Club. I was there on Tuesday. Some amazing kids who are doing amazing things. So we are also helping an orphanage in Delhi, just a project we just started. And I think we also now took on, as we have a fable for classical music, and our president, Mr. Tom Gottweis, is a pretty prominent figure also in the Dayton, Ohio Bach Society. I think we also now took on a sponsorship for a chamber orchestra in a small town called Pittsburgh. Right, it's not a small town, of course. So again, much more to come. I'm looking forward to be in a dialogue with you. Do the needful. Please subscribe. Please hit the bell, like or dislike, comment, whatever you want to do. But I want to stay in contact with you. I want to stay with you, and I'm looking forward to what is to come. Enjoy your Sunday. God bless.